Ooh, yeah. Come on, boys. Play me something worth sipping to. Here we go now. All right. Welcome to American Whiskey, where we talk about two of my favorite things, America and whiskey. So grab a glass, grab some ice, drink it neat, drink it however the hell you want. Sit back, relax, and let's talk about where the hell this country's headed. Yeah. Cheers. All right now. That's enough, boys. All right, let's talk. Welcome back to American Whiskey. As always, I'm your favorite fat host, Big Sturge. You just saw us a few minutes ago, but we're back in the studio for a special session of Sipping Juice. As always, Uncle Joey.
What's up?
Our new guy, Dave.
Hey, welcome in, guys.
And as always, seems to always be there with me, by my side, right-hand man, Dylan.
I'm pumped for this one, boys.
So welcome back to the studio. As always, welcome to Big Time BBQ, because we're not in off-the-wall studios. But either way, American Whiskey presents to you right now some good juice and a good time. So let's get started.
Yeah.
All right, boys, we're back at it. We had to take a lunch break. Here's why. Let me explain to you something right now.
Let me tell you something.
If you come to Dave's, you will leave somewhat
Recording
in
in progress.
drunken state.
Alcohol-induced situation.
Your liver will be primed and ready to roll for a good time. So, guys, tonight, actually, I'm going to give it to you, Dave. I'm going to give it to you. What are we doing tonight?
Well, guys, y'all expressed a deep desire and willing to try a very elusive product that comes to us from Buffalo Trace.
Very willing.
It is the Black Label. Any guesses?
Can I guess?
Anyone?
Can I guess?
Mueller.
Weller.
Mueller.
Elusive
Weller.
Good guess. Only available in Ohio through the OHLQ liquor lottery.
Or if you know somebody.
Or yes, if you know
Because
somebody.
the three of us only just know
Or
somebody.
if you have some tits.
Well, that's true, too. Time out. Can we explain how you got this bottle? Can we go down that?
Well, we might not go as
Not as deep as we went earlier.
Let's just say
but
and
a
endow
great friend of mine was on a shopping trip.
Mm-hmm.
A very good friend. And she was able to persuade the salesman at Benny's Liquor in downtown Chicago to send her home with a package for moi. And there it
Boom.
is.
How much?
It was $60.
Come
Whoa.
on.
6 on
$60
hairs.
Whoa.
And he presented it to her in a swaddling cloth.
I'll
know
give
what
you
I mean?
$60 for the rest of that. Right.
I'll show somebody my tits for that. Am I right, guys?
The very elusive
Yeah, he
Weller
will.
12.
Trust me, I will.
Yeah, he will.
I got hairy nipples, and I'm not that great looking. So, anyways, Dave, I appreciate you willing to, I've been into the whiskey game for a few years now, and this is something I've always wanted to try. Now, I wanted to bring up something we were talking about that I shut it down right away. I've had a lot of my whiskey friends out there give me some shit because we had a little deal between us one time, Dave. And that deal was, I messaged you, by the way.
Yeah, you did.
You didn't message me. I
Right.
said I stared at this bottle. I had tried it one time at a friend's house, and I did not like it. I won the Ohio Liquor Lottery. I was hoping to win the other bottle. It was that bottle that you had in there on the shelf. The
Happy tin, the
Pappy?
rip tin.
No, it was you bought it off of a buddy for 200.
Oh, that's the old Rip.
It was that
The
and
old
that.
Rip tenure, yeah.
And so I really wanted to get that.
That was Walt Springer, if you're watching.
Yeah.
Thank you, brother.
Hey, shout out.
Much
to you.
appreciated, Walt.
Hop on the show with us. Tell us how you got screwed over by Dave. I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. So I got shit on because I contacted Dave one day, and I said, hey, man, I'm sitting on this bottle I won from the Ohio Liquor Lottery. And here's the thing. I know I don't like it.
And you loved Eagle Rare.
Yeah. And and you said, well, what are you looking for? I said, honestly, this sounds silly, but I paid $56 for this blue label. Like, I'm not thinking secondary. I told you that.
Yes, exactly.
I said, I don't care about the $250 I could get out of this. I said, I want an Eagle Rare. You said, and I knew to get a hold of you because I know you
Hurry over right now.
Exactly. You said, what are you doing tonight?
Drive fast.
I said, my wife will bring me over. I knew to bring my wife because she would drive, and I know every time I come here, I'm not able to drive afterwards. So, yeah, so we ended up doing that deal, and then he felt bad to the point where I left. You say it was a quarter or a half. I say a 3/4 bottle.
We opened up a bottle of Blanton's while you were here.
It was a 3/4
and I shared
bottle.
it with him, and I sent it home with him when we were done.
Yeah, and he was like, no, man, this is a great deal. This is still a good deal for me. Like, just take the Blantons home. It was a 3/4 bottle. So anybody out there, like, listen, us whiskey connoisseurs, not all of us are out for the money. A lot of us are out for just something called juice. The taste.
Yes.
The chase of the taste.
Of the taste.
And to say that,
So-
Anthony loves his fucking Blantons.
Love it. It's my number one, and then Eagle Rare. Uncle Joe, you fucking love Eagle Rare.
I am an Eagle Rare fan.
So one of these days, maybe we'll be able to have that blessing from Dave, and you guys could try that. We'll bring over some good juice, and maybe he'll let you guys try that Blue Label Wellers, because I'm going to tell you right now, I will not try it. I know Dave's going to try to make me try it one more time, but I didn't like it the 2 times that I tried it.
Now,
So,
foolproof, where's that at?
26, I think.
Actually,
Talking your mic.
The Weller Foolproof.
Microphone, Dave.
They call it foolproof because
Damn it, David.
it's barreled at the proof that it went into the barrel at. So it's kind of different. If it goes into the barrel at 125 proof, they present it to you in a bottle at 125.
Right.
So it can fluctuate, but I think it's somewhere around 125, 127.
Yeah.
I'd have to get the bottle just to look at
And
it.
you had a good friend over that night. He liked it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it was just something that my palate doesn't
One
enjoy.
of my favorites.
Yeah, and that's
But
what
as you
said.
mature and you enjoy the higher proofs,
I am mature.
he'll be there. He'll be next year. He'll be like, man, can I get another shot of that? He'll come back.
So tonight, you have blessed us with that's the way I'm going to put it. You blessed us with an opportunity to knock something off my bucket list, which was try a Weller 12. I think I can speak for the 3 of us. I mean, this is something that we've all
I
wanted to
concur.
try.
Yes. Yeah, we would all agree with that.
If you're looking at the camera right now, folks, here it is right here. And he's just down to a very little bit, and he was just willing to let us partake in this. And Dave said it earlier, this is my fucking show, and I will go first here. Because
Take it on, brother. Take it
so
on.
excited about this. So I'm going to do the Austin value, right? We'll just go through this.
You
and
know
just do
what?
it the
This is a
Austin one.
bottle that I don't even care about all that. Oh, but yes,
I
let's
do.
do it.
I
Let's
do.
do it.
Wow. I'm doing it. So when I smell it, just the first thought, just now is the first time I smelled it, I thought apple juice. I don't know why.
Apple juice.
Just a sweet apple, cinnamon
Hold
aroma.
Hold on. Anthony, I'm going to do you a justice, all right? I'm going to do you a justice, okay? I haven't touched this yet. This is a Weller 12, and what I have in my hand is a leaded crystal
Okay.
Glencairn glass,
Okay.
which is the perfect glass for tasting great
Don't let it
bourbon,
spill
okay?
over now.
Don't spill it.
Don't
So
spill it.
you're going to swish it around. I'm going to hand this to Anthony, and I'm going to let him drink from my private glass. Set her down, and you can have this one. Because I don't mind sharing with people that enjoy good bourbon.
He just gave me one of these glasses, too. I'm kind of pumped.
And,
Okay.
and this glass, not speaking bad of this Buffalo Trace Glencairn glass, it's a very nice glass, but that leaded crystal glass, if you can't smell the difference and you can't feel and see,
Oh, there's-
man,
Is it different?
they'll be running
Let me
right out
smell
buying
that,
him one.
Anthony.
I
Jason, what do
guarantee
you
it.
smell?
Let me smell it out of that.
The nose out of that glass is different.
Jason, what do you smell?
I got a nice caramel smell.
Mm-hmm.
A hint of vanilla.
Do you get that molasses?
I could see some molasses. Yeah, I call that molasses.
I'm just going to say it. It's a 10. It's a 10 on smell.
Switch it around and watch that bitch run down the glass.
Yeah, watch them
Look at the
legs.
legs.
Look at that. That oil, that fine, oily residue that sticks to the glass.
The Evan Williams 12 had the
What are
same
we sitting
thing.
on proof-wise?
90.
Oh, you know I'm going to like it.
Those legs on that
And
thing
me
look
personally,
sexy.
I feel like this is going to drink.
That's Sports Illustrated.
Hotter than 90.
Oh,
Right there.
absolutely.
I think this is going to drink like 100 proofer. I think.
All right.
I think
I'd
it's just
agree.
the age.
I'm agreeing with you guys. That smells a 10. The legs on it are sexy.
Delicious. That's delicious. Look at that color.
Oh, I was wrong.
I mean, look at that color.
That
You
does
can
not
tell-
drink like 100 proof bourbon.
You know
can
that
see the
moment
oak in that. You can see
you're
it,
at your
man.
grandma's
It's in the
house and she just makes homemade biscuits and she puts that butter right on top of that hot biscuit. And like I'm talking fresh butter. We're not talking margarine. You know, the hard butter that's sitting on the stove. That's a little, you know, you put it on that fresh biscuit and it melts.
That is so much better than the 107.
That's a melting whiskey. That is so enjoyable. And I'm trying to think, what's it taste like?
Bourbon, just aged more and proof down.
Yep.
That is, it's phenomenal.
10.
That's a phenomenal whiskey.
Yeah, that's a
Smell 10, taste 10.
10.
I was a little surprised because
Worth it.
Smells. I don't want to say it smells hot, but I smell a little hint of alcohol in that. But
Dave, what do you
it's
get?
not there at the palate.
What are you
man.
getting?
Delicious.
What do you smell? Taste.
What I smell is when you're sitting down at Thanksgiving dinner, and you've just ate, you know, your big helping of
Say it. Turkey.
fresh turkey, and mashed potatoes and gravy,
Stuffing.
Oh, yeah?
and all the trimming,
Yeah.
you know, and the cranberries. And,
Keep
and
talking.
you're full, and then your aunt
Oh.
says, "Hey, I'm bringing out the pecan pie.
Oh.
This is the pecan
Sorry, Dave.
pie
We like to have a good time.
of the dinner."
This is
And
the-
I just came in my pants.
Stop. Rated R. Where for you?
There's towels up on the window
I
because I believe you. Pass me one.
Oh my goodness gracious!
He's not wrong, though.
No, it's good.
This
It's good.
is something that
I wish Austin was here with us.
this is something that is special.
Austin, if you're listening to this, brother,
Austin's had 12 year though. I think
I don't care.
Austin's had a lot of bourbon.
He
man.
might have had it before, but he doesn't have it at Dave's.
Here's to your 1792. Crushed all over the ground. Got him. That hurt.
That's
I shouldn't have said
salty.
That was mean.
Fuck him.
So when I like
Wow.
this bottle right here, Dave, this is something that's going on the do not touch shelf.
Nah, that's the share with friends shelf, man.
No, it's not.
That's to
I'm
share
with
with
Dave.
whiskey
I
connoisseurs.
don't have
Exactly.
Exactly.
Shelf.
Well,
Not friends.
I'll give you a
whiskey
story.
We got
connoisseurs.
a lot
Agreed.
of friends.
We had
But
a
I got a lot of
birthday-
friends that don't know whiskey also.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
Right.
we had a birthday party at the house, and my wife's nephew was over.
That's cool. I
And
wasn't
he
invited.
commented that he liked bourbon, so she grabbed Eagle Rare and poured it in a glass. And then when he left, there was still a half a glass of
I'm
bourbon.
drinking it.
I drank it.
Absolutely.
So now my wife knows there's an area in the kitchen that you grab for guests.
And that's what I'm saying. It's not that it's the do not touch shelf. If you don't enjoy whiskey, you don't partake in it in a certain way, that's not what you start with.
Right.
You start with you're just not bottom shelf, rare breed. I mean, that's
Well,
even,
here's my opinion. If you've only drank bourbon for less than 2 years, maybe you don't even deserve
Give
to
me your
drink
bottle.
Weller 12. You know what I mean? Like you I'm just kidding, but I'm just saying
that back
there are
in.
so many bourbons out
Put it in
there.
your mouth.
This is like, I mean, like for us, I never thought it. I thought this would be another few years before I was able to try this. So
yeah,
I really
yeah.
do appreciate that, Dave. I hope you realize this is something the three of us have all talked about. We've all talked about. I've got a guy that can get a bottle. We talked about splitting it 3 ways, but
I don't wanna
to me,
get-
it's almost, I don't know, it's rough.
I don't want to
spend
get all
that
choked
money,
up
man.
and shit, but
It's
feel honored.
$250. That's a bit pricey for that, man.
you think so?
No.
Yeah, I don't-
I'd
that's-
pay $250.
It's a bit pricey, but after you've had it and you go back to drinking your 107 that you're very fond of,
I agree.
I think you're going to take 3 of your 107s and you're
And
going to
trade
trade
it,
it for
yeah.
a 12.
Dave, I'm just letting you know.
Don't speak for me.
We're gonna Dave, I'm just letting you know. If my special reserve is shit now, we're throwing hands.
It's all his fault. Yeah, it's all his fault.
You have to give
You're
27 bottles.
You're
of
going to
that.
get a glass of that Weller at a special reserve, and you're going to say, "Why am I drinking this?"
because it's
Dave,
not
I'm kind of excited for you to
$250.
try that
Because
Evan
I
Williams
can't
12,
buy a bottle for
'cause that's
$60
how I feel about that
can't
Evan
go.
Williams 12.
Man, I'd love
that
to
Evan
try it.
Williams blew me away. It floored me that bottle was $150 and it had a screw cap. You know, this is $60. I'm okay with the screw cap, but for $150, that Evan Williams, man, but it's something special, man. That Evan Williams 12
Hey.
is something special.
I was gonna ask you
Weller
this.
has kept that screw cap on that 12 for a reason, and it works.
It works.
It does work.
Let me ask you this: which bottle's better, the Weller 12?
Man, that
or the
Weller
Evan
12
12?
is good, man. I'm really
I
torn
agree.
to that one. That Weller's good. This has good flavor, but to me, that Evan Williams has got a different sweet profile. That this is smooth. This is a smoother profile. That Evan Williams
Which one's
is really
better?
sweet.
Answer the question.
Which one's better? I don't want to. They're both equal.
Answer the question.
I can't say.
Hey, you can love two women.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this: if that you say, I just got that. You
Nice,
said Evan
Dave.
Williams is worth 150.
Yes.
Is that worth 150?
Yes. Yeah, I think that's comparable.
So value wise 60. That's how this world.
60, that's a steal. If
Well done, David.
anybody can get these for
Proud of you.
$60, that's a steal, man.
proud
It
of your
really
friend.
is.
Give me all of them you can get.
Yes,
for 60.
get me as many as you can get. It's just the
I'll
area
take a
that you
loan.
live in, man.
was
We
about to
live
say
in the
same
107 area. Ours are 55. These are 60. So
I like it. So
But for 55 and 60, that is night and day difference.
it is.
it's kind of makes you angry
$60?
that that's what we get. Yeah, that we get
You
this.
pay $5 more for that than 107. That's robbery.
It is.
Well,
It
here's
really
what I
is.
think's crazy. Evan Williams 12 is 150, and that's 60.
Yeah.
That blows my pickle.
But what's Evan Williams?
Whatever that
100
means.
and what proof though? It's 107 proof, I think. So proof's
Not
a little,
much higher,
It's a little higher,
but not much. So, Dave, you know what the podcast is called?
America and whiskey.
Whiskey. So,
Ooh, I know what he's saying. I know what's
you
coming.
know what my next question for you is going to be.
I know what it is. If you watch, Dave, you should know what's coming up.
Go ahead.
So you don't watch it. So, so
You know
here's
what it
my
is?
question. We've talked about whiskey, but we haven't talked about America.
You're going to
Okay.
put me on that stage front again.
Well, here's something interesting. If the guy that I had somebody that wanted to know why I thought Donald Trump was going to save America and all this crap, and I said, hey man, I don't debate on Facebook, but you're more than welcome to come into the studio, have a drink. I got great whiskey. We'll just talk. We'll have a good time. We'll do a podcast episode. He's like, I don't think that's a good mix. It's not like where have we come as a country to where we can't sit down and differ from each other and have a conversation. I don't know where you stand, but Dave, I want to talk a little bit about America. I'm not putting you on a stage or anything. I just want to know your thoughts right now as a country in a whole, where we're at right now and where you would like to see us.
I'm going to tell you what, y'all might disagree with me, but I'm going to tell you, bring back Bill Clinton.
I will not disagree
He
with
gets
you.
another-
sir.
I voted for Donald Trump
Yep.
over Joe Biden. And it's not because I'm a Republican, because I'm not. I am a blue-collar working man that's lived in a union environment for many years. My father was a union man. He retired from Navistar International, UAW Local 402. I've given 29 years of my life, and they've been pretty damn good to me. Donald Trump does not like union labor.
Joe Biden
Right.
is the union
Well,
man.
I will
He
say-
is.
He
I will-
does not like union labor.
And I could agree with
so
that.
I can't, but I voted for him because I didn't like Joe.
Right.
I don't like handouts. I don't like freebies. I don't like,
Well,
here's you a
typically-
trophy because you participated.
When you talk about Republicans and Democrats,
So I'm not neither one.
but it does, most people, Terry across the street from me, he's a union worker too. He worked at Navistar for I don't know how many years.
That's
But-
my uncle.
Yeah, that's your uncle. He had a Joe Biden sign in his yard. Bless his heart. I was driving past his house one day, just joking around. And I was like, hey, take that. You forgot some trash out. It was trash morning. He was taking his trash out. And I was like, hey, you forgot some of your trash in your yard. We give each other a good time. You know what I'm saying? And I typically, when it comes to union workers, they do tend to go towards the Democratic side. But the Democratic side has changed so much, just same as the Republican.
Yes, they have.
I mean, but the Democratic side has changed so much to the point where it's outside of that box now. That box of being a Democrat is so much bigger than what it was in the 80s
Yes,
or
you're
the
right.
90s.
You're exactly right.
Now we're talking about guys being girls, girls being guys, my child using the same like this what they were supposed to fight for the American people on both sides, Republican and Democrat, has changed so much that it's all political. You talk about being a blue collar guy. I have a CDL. I do apartment maintenance now. I'm a blue collar guy. I work to make money to provide for my family, and at the end of the day, whoever I believe is going to do the best to get that to me to provide for my family, that's who I'm going to vote for. So I have to say the same. I'm not a Democrat and I'm not a Republican, but I tend to go more right sided. But but you just see where we're at right now, Dave. I know you work at, where you work, Dave. I don't know if they still do a lot of layoffs or not. Is that still a thing?
Layoffs? Yeah, I just got laid off Friday.
Okay, so
but it wasn't. It was because of part shortages, and
Okay.
that's because I feel wholeheartedly that it's because of as a country, we lack skilled labor.
exactly.
Yep.
We lack skilled labor. We have people that would rather sit in their chair and collect
money.
a check
Yep.
instead of getting their ass up and going to work.
And you don't have to be a Democrat or Republican to believe that.
Exactly.
So
you don't have to be.
I went down. I do apartment maintenance. I went down a couple months back now, and I went to go help a guy learn how to put in a water heater, and he's like, "Nah, I don't know how to do that." I'm like,
You know how to put in a water heater.
You're an apartment maintenance," and the lady's like, "Yeah, we have to hire who we can get." I'm like, "He's a handyman."
I can pull up on YouTube right now 475 videos on how to put in a water heater.
And on top of that, it was electric water heater. What are you
Holy
going to mess
shit.
up? What are you going to mess up?
You ain't gonna blow yourself up.
Come on. And even gas water heaters, not bad. You're right. It's one of those things where you're scared for the next generation because, our generation, Dylan, it's hard to get prison workers. Am I right or am I wrong?
And you're right with that.
No one wants to work. I don't know why. I don't know.
And that hits with what you
COVID
guys
had
are
a lot to
talking
do with
about. Being a correction officer, it's union.
Yeah.
I'm actually union leadership for them at London, but I'm the same way. I'm not left. I'm not right. I tend to be more right like Anthony, but I'm going to vote for what's best for me and my family. And
It's so funny when we talk about, I'm more right, I'm more left. It's like, what views are those? And it's
Right.
typically nothing but political. It's just the stupid things like
I'm right here.
the billfold. Yeah.
I'm right here.
what's making
Yeah.
my money?
If it affects me, you're out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. If it's going to save me money, you're in, right? It's just one of those things, man. It'll be interesting to see this next election. And a lot of people don't realize it's not just the president of the United States. A lot of people give old Joe Biden fits, which I think he's a dumbass.
Mike,
but
that's funny, but I'm probably one of the only correctional officers you ever met.
who's that?
Mike said, hold on, let me pull it back up here if I can get it. He said, the Justice League is one of the best correctional officers I have ever met.
Hey, Mike Glassburn?
Yeah.
Okay, Mike Glassburn, you're my boss, brother. I'm glad you're on. He'll tell you how hard it is to get somebody to come in there and do a basic job under maintenance.
It's funny. You said you're the only one showing up to work, so Mike's not even showing up to work this week. So that says
He's
all
on
you need to know
vacation.
about your
Damn
boss.
it. But he's a great boss. I'll tell you right now, he's one of those guys, man. I could call him tomorrow. I actually got a water heater to put in. If I needed help, he's going to run in there. But you don't get that anymore because, one, the workmanship isn't there anymore. What do you call that, Dave? When you go to work and you go home and you're pissed off at work, but on your drive home you feel good.
That's pride, man. That's American.
That's
Where
honest
the
days of
fuck
work
is
right
pride
there.
gone?
That's an honest
gone.
days of work.
gone.
It is
man.
gone.
Dave, how many
man.
times you been over there at Navistar and your back hurt and your hands hurt from fixing shit and you're so pissed off you're saying, I'm going to quit this job, but on the drive home, you're live with Dave on your drive home. How you felt so exhausted, but again you felt so good.
I have never in my life, I'm 56 years old, and I've never turned my back on my paycheck.
Exactly.
Because when I collect my check, I feel like I deserved it.
And Anthony,
I'm one of those guys, man, that I give it 100% when I go to work. Some people at work call me a company man and a suck ass and whatever. No, that's
damn
not
union
what it is.
worker.
It's nothing about it. It has nothing to do
Right.
with that. It's about that I have a self-pride that when I go home at the end of the day that I earned that money that man paid me to come to work and do a job.
Right.
I earned it.
and Anthony, you can
It's not given.
It's not good.
And that's what people are wanting now.
and you can attest to this for me at least. There's been numerous times I've got off work. Anthony's like, "Hey, you want to come over? Like, do this, or this?" I'm like, "Dude, I want to go home, drink a beer, take a shower, and go to bed." And it's
Kiss my wife.
and it's
He doesn't
nothing.
have a wife.
It's
He's
nothing
got a
against
husband.
anything else.
kiss my wife and thank her for everything that she does.
But
for me
it's because
every day.
I know I
Shout
work
out,
hard
baby.
that day, and I just want to relax.
Yep. I
never
go into
give a
work
shit for
and
that.
and you see the people that we've hired. We went through it 10 years ago, man. And I'll tell you, 10 years ago when Navistar was trying to hire people and nobody wanted to work, all you really had to do was be able to pass a drug test. They didn't care if you'd ever seen a truck before in your life. They needed warm bodies, and they got them. Today, they're dealing with those warm bodies.
Yeah, yeah.
The guy like me
That's everywhere, though.
hired in 29 years ago, they're
even
not
more
they're
manufacturing.
hiring 5% of the guys like me today.
That's crazy.
And
The other
that,
95%, they're just, hey, it's a job.
that's a little bit of everywhere right now. At least I know where I'm at. Like, there's been a few of us that's been like, it's kind of scary going to work with some of these guys, but it's a warm body for them. So
And I can't
It is
attest
what it-
to all of them because there's some good guys that they've hired in the last 10
yeah,
years.
you do get
Yeah.
some good
that
ones.
are good guys, and there's
But they're like
guys
needles
that,
in a
man,
haystack.
How in the hell did you get a job?
But for every one good one you get, there's just five warm bodies.
So-
yeah, that's
So moving
pretty
forward,
liberal.
Dave, in your opinion, what could we do to better that? I mean, is it the pay or is it just strictly laziness? Is there something that we can do?
And that's another thing that people talk about. They say we're going to raise the minimum wage. Well, in the last, let's just go back 3 years.
Okay.
And the guy that worked at McDonald's that was flipping burgers that made $7.50 an hour, right? At that time, I'm not bragging, I made $26 an hour, right? So today, the same guy with the same job that's flipping burgers is making $16 an hour, and you know what I'm making? 24.
Right.
What did you actually do to help the economy?
Right.
All you
really did was make the government money.
And the prices of things going up.
prices of things went up.
Minimum wage rises, so will products.
But
you made a job that's supposed to be entry level high school jobs.
Yeah,
and you made it livable.
Yeah, my kids that are going to school, man, they went and I bagged groceries, man. When I was 15 years old, I was bagging groceries at Big Bear for $3.10 an hour. You know,
Yep.
and that helped me. It put
Big
gas in my
Bear.
car. Man, I pulled into the gas station. I got a fucking pack of cigarettes and a full tank of gas, and all I had was $5.
Yeah. Yeah.
Today, I filled my truck up. It cost me $72.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
thank God it's gone down a
I'm
little bit.
still working off the same $25 an hour. The guy flipping burgers is making twice the amount of money.
Still struggling.
But who's winning?
He is.
Let's look at it.
Well, government.
Let's go a little bit deeper. Who's winning? Because now the federal government still collects the same $95 a week out of my paycheck. But that guy that was making $7 an hour, they're getting $30 a week out of his paycheck instead of $15.
Right.
The federal government wins. They won
Well, another problem
because they
is
increased their income, and that's it.
let's just go with the 42-year-old man or woman, been at McDonald's for 10 years, flipping burgers for $8 an hour. Now they're making 15, 16. You also have to put in effect too is like, where are they as far as handling money? That's one thing that's not taught anymore in school is how to survive. So they're probably, I mean, there's a lot of people out there. You're just like, how are you not able to get your car fixed making $20 an hour? Like a lot of it has to do with the people themselves because there's something that's out there that a lot of people forget, and it's called live within your means.
Right.
If you make $7 an hour on minimum wage, don't buy a $30,000 car.
Put two of it back.
Right. So
Put two of it back.
a lot of it has to do with the government. They're getting theirs. That's all they care about. That's never going to fucking change. I don't care who's president. I don't care who's in the Senate. I don't care who's where. No matter what. The government is never... That ship has sailed so long ago that we can no longer fight about the government caring for us. Now, we have to educate ourselves and provide for our families because you get older, time changes, you have kids, then you have grandbabies, then you get kids in school. And you're still going to make that $26 an hour. It doesn't matter. So you have to figure out what lifestyle you can live to allow that to be successful. And I think that's not taught in school now. I mean, thank God I had parents that taught me.
Exactly.
Right.
You know, I'd be fucked right now because I didn't learn anything education-wise when it came to handling money when I was a kid. So, and by no means am I doing great anyways. You know, we're doing good. I'm blessed. God has blessed me to the moon and back with 4 kids, a wife that puts up with a guy like me, and we're making it, man.
Coming to hang out with a guy like me.
Yeah, so just a bunch of blue-collar guys just hanging out. So I think that was good, something good you brought up, Dave. I think, you know, bring back the Bill Clinton. I mean, I hear you, man.
Times were good,
getting
man.
blowjobs underneath the Oval desk. I mean,
People
how
really
could you
rag
not?
Bill Clinton for this NAFTA thing, and it really did change
It did.
our country. NAFTA changed our country. But if you go back and you look and you research it, when Bill Clinton took office, the NAFTA bill was already laying on the
NAFTA
table.
was already there.
It was
He just
laying
got-
there on the
yeah.
table. All he had to do was sign it.
Yep.
He could have said, no, I ain't signing it. He got a head job instead. And he signed it, and he went on. And, yeah, that is the biggest downfall in my history to our economy.
NAFTA
was
screwed
NAFTA.
us. NAFTA's, yeah. Oh, yeah.
It really is because, man, and a lot of people don't know this, and maybe they are, but manufacturing in this country went downhill that day because when you go to Mexico, down there, just take our Navistar plant for instance, right? For an example, they have a truck, armored Suburban, that goes out into the city, and they collect workers to bring in to work their plant. Wow. Okay? So they pull up to your house, in front of the house, and they say, hey, where's the 3 guys that you told me is coming out of that house to go to work for me today? Well, I'm sorry, but he took his paycheck last week, and he's stoned and drunk, so you're going to get my sister today. So Navistar, as a big corporation, has to figure out how his sister is going to do his job today.
Right.
They take her, get on the bus, and they go to work. They put them in the plant, and all the managers and all the people that's supposed to run this facility has to deal with that. And it's not just today, it's every week.
Yeah.
Every week, there's a new guy that gets on the bus that don't know what the fuck he's doing, and they're paying him $2 an hour. They got a doctor's office in the damn plant that they can go to for health care. And all they got to do is come back to America, pay me my wage, and I have pride and sense, and I show up every day.
Yeah, because that
Down
is,
there, man, you give a guy down there $10 an hour, and fuck, man, they're on a holiday.
well, you see people like that they do come here. They work on. When I worked at Carter Lumber, driving their lumber truck, there was a crew of they were from Mexico. They just came here just for building season, and then they'd go back.
Their work ethic is impeccable.
You should see how
Those
fast
guys
these dudes
come
built
up
houses.
here, man, and they work.
Their work ethic is insane. My wife will
Man.
tell you how many times I'm like, you won't believe this. It's been 2 months and that house is beautiful on the outside already.
Their work ethic, it don't even compare to.
And they're
American
making
worker today.
$10 an hour and sending it home for their families of however many to live off. So, you know, we got it so good here, guys. And
Yeah,
and
we
that's
do.
what we need to start doing is understanding what you can do to better yourselves and your family and be content with life. And Dave, that's why we started this podcast. I was tired of all the downside of everything. You know, I get humiliated because I was a Donald Trump supporter. I'm like, why? Why do we got to do that? Why can't we just come together and you tell me, Dave, not saying you do, but you were like, man, I love Joe Biden. Okay, cool, man. Why? But you know what I'm saying, though. You get what I'm saying.
I see where you're at.
Dave, if somebody was right there right now that said, I like the job that he's doing, that's fine. But now you're going to tell me why.
Yeah.
I want to know why. And I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to disrespect you unless you say something stupid. You know, and most of the shit that he's doing is pretty stupid.
I don't watch the news channel, and I don't give 2 shits.
I like Joe
That's how
Biden.
this
I
guy
collect a
is.
paycheck, but you know what? If I had to choose between 2 people here, and here's why I don't really praise Donald Trump. Okay, if I want a man in a White House that's going to stand up to foreign takeover and foreign dignitaries, I want Donald Trump.
Yeah.
If I want a guy that's going to back union labor and back the middle class man and help, I'm going to vote for Joe Biden. Donald Trump is a lifetime businessman, and
He said it
failed.
himself.
He's failed, and he's filed bankruptcy many times. Yeah. But did he stand up to anybody that wanted to cross our borders and try to enforce their ways upon us? He did. And that's what I liked about Trump.
Hey, how about this? Let's put Joe Biden and Trump in office at the same time. Maybe we can get some shit done.
So let me say this, Anthony.
No, Donald Trump, stop talking.
Yeah.
No talking.
He'd be asleep.
So Anthony, let me say this. I like Joe Biden for his coordination.
Hold on.
Couple more drinks, and you're going to look like Joe walking off my porch out here.
I'll walk just fine.
It was
just
really
fine,
funny.
sir.
I hate to mix politics because, I mean, I'm not strong.
We're not talking
left.
politics
I'm not
here.
strong right. I really ain't. I'm me, and but there's some things that they've done to this country on both sides, left and right, that really don't set real easy with me. So I leave it at that.
I like it, man. I love
You're
that.
right. You're right.
And I'll be honest, you're the first person that's died that was comfortable enough. You did say you put me under the bus, but you actually talked about it. Most people that we ask about that question, we get nothing out of. So I appreciate that. But we got a long night ahead of us here. I got to get this all packed up, and you know.
Oh, you're ready to leave
time,
now? 'Cause
Great
I don't-
time.
You ready to leave
We'll
now?
save this for another night, man. We'll come back.
No, he's getting tired, and I'll
got things
still
to
hang
do.
out for a bit.
We can hang out. We're just
Yeah.
talking about ending the episode.
But
Let's get back to bourbon.
well, what do you want? Do you have anything else you want to talk about?
Oh man,
It's all up to you, man.
I would this COVID bullshit. I think it's right back there with the damn Area 54. I think somebody made this shit up, man.
Time out.
Whoa.
Making a lot of people
Dave,
sick, but I
what do
think
you-
somebody brought it over to slow us down.
What do you mean,
I
Dave?
agree.
So, can I ask-
I
so-
think this was created,
Can I just ask a question? What does that got to do with Area 51?
well, it's
It
just
was
that
made up.
So COVID's not real.
Oh, the disease and the what it's doing to people and affects people, it's
Yeah,
fucking
okay.
real. Look around.
So you're saying Area
but I
51's
think
real?
somebody created this to influence
You're not getting my question.
our economy.
So are you
Are
saying there's
aliens real?
Here's my
Aliens?
opinion,
No.
just a real.
You can't say it's like Area 51 then,
All you kept
because
hearing-
somebody made that shit up.
but it wasn't real.
All you kept hearing was about how overpopulated our planet was and how Social Security was struggling.
Mm-hmm.
How many people died? How much money was pumped back into federal tax money? I mean, there was tax returns that weren't taken. There was money that was just kind of rolled back into the government. Our government, I feel like, made a lot of money off COVID.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah.
they did. A lot more money than I
and
did.
population
Wow.
control. We lost a lot of bodies to COVID, so the world
I blame the working
world
class
has less
people.
people due to COVID, and they wanted that.
Well,
So
and
they
when-
kind of got what they wanted. I feel.
They succeeded.
And when we talk about the working class right now, and we're talking about the laziness, how much of that laziness came from people sitting on their ass for 2 years that didn't want to go back to work?
Yep.
I ain't lying, man. I find it hard every day to go to work now. I do, man. That 2 years sitting on my ass at home,
Right.
I go to work and I'm like, and I think I have a different perspective when I go to work. It's not the self pride that I have. It's when I go to work and I'm over here working my ass off, and the guy's sitting over here on his phone and he's making the same money, and the boss don't have the balls to go over and tell him to get back to work
Yeah.
because they're afraid they're gonna lose him.
But does Dave have the balls?
I do it every day.
Get you off the fucking phone.
I do it every day.
Get off the phone. Stop talking to your girlfriend. Well, that's the
Get
problem.
him, Dave.
There's no men don't like the boys that we're raising right now don't have they don't have the cojones anymore, man. It's sissified out there nowadays. You got to be careful what you say to people now. I mean, if you're in the workplace, you'd be like, fuck off. You used to be able to say that. Now you're in the secretary's office, like getting written up because you told some guy
Yeah.
to go fuck himself.
Mr. Kendall, HR would like to see you.
Did you tell somebody to go fuck themselves early?
Look, I'm a
Yes,
union
I
steward,
did.
so I know better. Yeah.
100% I did.
Anthony, not at all. I did not say that. 3 people saw you. Don't care. Didn't say it.
Yeah, it didn't happen.
So, but yeah, the whole COVID thing, my aunt lost her life last year to COVID, and she had MLS, I think it was. So she had pre-existing conditions and stuff, but she lost her life to COVID, and so I know it's real. We all know somebody or know somebody that knew somebody that lost their life. But when you talk about COVID-19, it absolutely was brought over here on purpose. The American people were lied to, and now it's even with this COVID vaccine. You talk about the COVID vaccine now, and you see people are dying from COVID with the COVID vaccine, and it's just like you're 99% chance of living if you get all your boosters and all this stuff, and it's just like you don't know.
Didn't see that one coming.
Yeah, you don't see.
Oh shit! Hey, Miami just defeated Texas.
Yeah, and they look sloppy. The last game they played, I'm shocked here.
So, but you know, out of all seriousness, you know, we've talked about it before on American Whiskey. Is our hearts go out to the people that lost their battle with COVID. But to understand the truth underneath, you have to dig so deep, and the government's not willing to do that because they're going to hide it. They're not going to tell us the truth. You have to find those truths yourselves. A lot of people call that conspiracy theories. It's not. It's just if you think the American government's not lying to you on a daily basis, you're an idiot.
Yeah, exactly.
You're an absolute idiot. If you don't think Donald Trump has said something to the American people that wasn't true, you're an idiot. If you don't think Joe Biden has said something to the American people that's not true, you're an idiot. The government that our people that founded America, we the people that have on the arm, when it was originally done, was not meant for this.
No.
This is not how this country was supposed to be ran. We were supposed to run it, and we were supposed to be together, and we've just absolutely tortured it. So, I really like that. Bringing the whole COVID thing up just because it is true.
I agree.
It's not a made-up disease. It's real.
It's real.
But
it affects people and everybody.
There was reason that COVID came about.
Yeah, it wasn't an accident.
I feel it was.
And there was an ulterior
It was
motive
created
to
in a
COVID.
lab, and it was given out to the people. You know, and whether that be to, like you said, overpopulated. I mean, how many people died? I mean, what's the number now?
A bunch.
Do you remember every day you'd see it on the news what it was? Where's it at now? Because believe it or not, people are still dying.
Just like you said, everybody sitting around the country today knows somebody that lost their life to COVID. Or their life is drastically changed because.
Oh, yeah. Some people lost employment. Some people
have
businesses.
diabetes after they got COVID, or
they've lost.
They went to go get the saving vaccine and got a blood clot, and their dad died because he took the fucking vaccine. You know,
my wife has a autoimmune disease that was flared up by COVID that she now deals with on a daily basis that she never had to deal with before.
Right.
You know, it was a very small skin condition that she had, and now that COVID's hit, it's run rampant through her body, and it's wild.
So it's insane.
Real.
It is real, but it was also made up in a way to where you're right, Dave. It was made up in a lab to cause havoc, and that's exactly
old
what
Wuhan,
it did.
the Wuhan flu.
Yeah, yeah.
China virus.
China.
Dr. Fauci.
Hey, the whooping cough's coming back.
Yes,
Dr.
yes, it is. The whooping
Fauci.
cough, yes.
Doctor. Never mind.
Is he a doctor?
Lord.
Is Dr. Fauci a doctor or scientist?
Yes.
Good answer.
You remember that episode? That was funny as hell.
He's a government employee.
So the computer's on 2% now, so it's going to
Man,
die.
we had a blast tonight,
Absolute
Dave.
blast. Dave, thanks for allowing us
Man,
to
I'm glad
come.
you guys came over, man. It's been a great
This
time.
won't be the last,
It's
Dave.
not the easiest setup, but it wasn't bad. I mean, it
We'll
didn't take
come
too
back.
long.
We'll get
and do
better.
this
We'll get
without
better at it.
equipment, Dave.
It worked.
We're getting there.
But
So
hey,
hopefully
who
this
are
is-
we?
Well, hold on now. Dave, do you feel comfortable to get back on with us sometime?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
All right, awesome,
Yeah.
awesome.
Most
All right,
definitely.
guys.
As long as
As-
you don't make me tell you what I taste in that glass, because I taste deliciousness. If I like it, I'm going to tell you I like it. If I don't like it, I'm going to tell you I don't like it.
Exactly.
There you go.
That's what we
Do I
want.
get bananas or all that other bullshit? Yeah,
Captain
sometimes.
Crunch. or
You know what it
whatever you
is?
said.
It's bourbon.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Dave, the maker, he makes up all his own taste buds here. So, all right, guys. As always, I'm Anthony,
I am Uncle Joey.
And I'm Dave.
I'm Dylan.
and we are
American Whiskey.
Whiskey.